Hi everybody, I hope that you are enjoying this beautiful day. We're having some sunshine here, and today's topic is how to raise your frequency. I was on my other page and I was doing like a short little video that I'm going to also post here. So like a very easy way that you can raise your frequency is I'll give you a couple of ways. So I'm going to start with 3 ways. I will start with the third one. The third one would be, so number 3 is make a list of things you are grateful for. So it could be 3 things that you're grateful for. It could be 5 things that you're grateful for. If you want to come up with more, you can come up with more. But immediately when you get into an attitude of gratitude, you start raising your frequency. And this is a great thing to do either when you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep at night, or both. It will help raise your frequency. So the third way on number 3, how you can raise your frequency in a very simple way that takes minutes, seconds, is just make a list of 3 things or 5 things that you are grateful for. And it could be a list that you're writing down, or it could be a mental list, or you can say it out loud or just think it. What are 3 things that I'm grateful for today that went on in my day? And then, if you can come up with more, like I said, you can come up with more. So that's number 3. Number 2, you can raise your frequency by listening to music. Music, of course, that you enjoy and that makes you feel happy. It is so simple, yet so underestimated. And I am not saying this because I'm a musician and a singer and a songwriter. But yes, music can raise your frequency. It does, actually. It raises your frequency. So put some music on that you love, that you enjoy. If you're a musician or a singer, even better, make some music and share it with other people, okay? But listening to music that you love and enjoy and just like being in that moment, let it become absorbed into it, is a wonderful way of raising your frequency and getting lost in the moment and just, like being present, and allow the music to make you feel happy. Okay, so it's got to be music that you love and enjoy that makes you feel happy. It could be calming music that centers you. It could be rock music or heavy metal or smooth jazz or whatever it is that you like and at the moment feels good to you. So music that makes you feel good. This is number 2, the way of how to raise your frequency. And number 1, the number 1 way for this video, there are many ways, but for this video, number 1 is think better feeling thoughts. So start noticing the thoughts that you're having at any given moment in time in your day. And if you notice that they are not empowering thoughts, then shift them and start asking yourself better feeling questions. Okay, so for example, if you're thinking that, oh well, it's like I don't have enough clients, or like I don't have enough time to do XYZ. It could be anything that's work related. It could be, like with a house, like you don't have enough time to clean or whatever. And so these thoughts are going to lower your frequency. So start asking yourself better feeling questions. For example, like, what can I do in this amount of time that I have? How can I best use this time? How can I delegate some things? And that way I don't have to do anything and I have more free time. So these are better feeling thought questions. And you've probably heard when they say that the answer is in the question. Okay, so by asking yourself the right kind of questions, you will raise your frequency. And why do you want to raise your frequency, you might ask? Well, you ask good questions. So the reason that we want to raise our frequency is this, and I'm actually going to go more into like a little, not story, but more explaining of the law, what we call the law of attraction, but basically it is the law of resonance. And for those of you that might be musicians like myself, it might make a little bit more sense. But then even if you're not a musician, the example I'm going to give you is so simple that everyone can understand it. Okay, so when we talk, oh, by the way, I want to take a minute here and I want to say hello, acknowledge you, those of you that are here. Hi, John, so good to see you. Hi, Mick, good to see you too. So I'm talking about how to raise your frequency, about, you know, the law of attraction. And the number one way, as I was saying, is to ask yourself better feeling questions so that you can raise your frequency. So going back to what the law of attraction is, basically it is the law of resonance. And this goes like that. So experiments have shown that, let's say if you're in a room and there's a guitar in one end of the room and then there's a piano at the other end of the room, if somebody plays, let's say, the G chord in the guitar or the C chord on the guitar, then the other side of the room where the piano is, the C chord will start resonating. It will start vibrating. Okay. And the reason that this happens is because like everything around us is energy, and sound travels in waves. Sound travels in waves. So energy is kind of like the air that we breathe. We don't necessarily see the air. We don't smell it. Okay, but we know it's there. We breathe it, otherwise it would not exist. So the same with energy. You don't see the energy, you cannot touch it, but you can feel it, you can sense it. And especially for those of us, or those of you that are a little bit more in tune with their bodies, more empathetic or more empaths, it's easier to feel and to understand. So again, sound will travel in waves, and so if you play the C chord on the guitar that's in one end of the room, and then on the other end of the room, even though there's nobody there, nobody touching the piano, you're going to hear the C chord, the same chord on the piano vibrating. And the reason for that is because sound travels, it travels in waves. We don't see it, but it goes from the one side of the room to the other. So that is the law of attraction, which basically is the law of resonance. What the example that I gave you is that sound resonates from one side of the room to the other. And I want to give you another example. And by the way, if you guys have any type of question, please feel free to type it down below. And I'm going to look over here at my laptop. So I'm recording this in front of my beautiful iPhone. Thank you, Mac. I'm a Mac girl. But then here I have my my laptop so that I can see the questions, if you guys have any questions. And if you do like what you are hearing, just wave or say hi or give me a like or a heart, something like that. Okay, so, all right, so the other example that I wanted to give was this, so that you can understand how the law of resonance works. All right. And thank you to someone who acknowledged there. Okay, so this is how the law of attraction, or more scientifically and nerdy, the law of resonance works. So I gave the example. The first example was with the musical instruments. The second example is this, even easier to understand. Okay, so have you guys ever been in a room, or you enter a room or an office, and without anyone saying anything, you just feel that it's like the atmosphere is just like super heavy, and it just doesn't feel good, right? And that could be because probably people are unhappy or whatever it is, you know, and their frequency is lower. So even though no one might say anything, you feel it. Okay, and the reason you feel it is because you are a vibrational being. You are an energetic, you know, you exist, there's energy. You are a form of energy, and the feelings, your feelings, their thoughts, your thoughts, they are all creating energy, frequencies, vibrations and frequencies. So you are picking up those frequencies. And that's why, even though no one might say anything, you still feel that, you know, like this is an unhappy environment. People are not happy with their work or whatever, you know, something's going on. Something doesn't, you know, seem good, doesn't feel good. So if you have, if you resonate with what I'm saying, if you can relate to what I'm saying, just put something, you know, like write something down on the comment section, or you know, like put a like or something like that. This way I'll know that I'm getting through to you guys and you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so I gave you this example: when you enter a room or an office or something and it feels like negative, it just feels like really heavy. On the other hand, have you ever entered a room or an office or been somewhere where it just like it just feels so light, and without anyone saying anything again, you feel that, oh my God, this